Bob does not have an Eager Beaver, so obviously this is a totally alien machine.
Train myself.
Oh, it's a funny stuff.
I know it. I like to feel it. Just sit behind it. Okay. And yes, I do wear glasses.
Oh, good. Good man. Do you want a finger?
No.
You want finger flash?
That's. I ain't worried
They're
about that.
disposable.
That's all right. That's all right. It's one of these. It's one of these ways.
All right.
But after you're done for a day of fleshing, look at your glasses to think about all the stuff that's in your eyes.
You should point it out.
With mine, I can't even see through my glasses.
And by the way, if you're not doing the shaving in your shop, you have people working for you, and they're not wearing glasses, you're in trouble. That's like an accident waiting to happen. You got to stay on. Trust me.
I need
stay
a
on.
medium.
Big time. Oh, we'll give you water. That was water too.
I got it covered now. That's a good cut. That's a real good cut.
You want gloves?
No, I can't keep using them. I'll put it on.
Good.
Here, some tape.
By the way, these are called finger cots.
There's another name for them. There's another name for them. We deal with them.
When you buy them, they will be called finger cots. Something like that.
They work pretty good.
What do you say?
Yeah. I like this.
Again, don't forget to pick up that article.
Can I just use?
Definitely. Everybody has a different technique.
Yep. I'm a chicken and I use it to.
Do you want to move the guards in or out?
I want to move it this way.
You want to move this out?
Yes. Okay, that's that.
That don't fit. It's always the last Allen wrench, right?
I'm not going to reach in front, trust me.
Believe it or not, you will. I cut myself on this thing when it wasn't running.
Yeah.
So is it sharp? Yes, it's sharp.
You don't want to you don't want that cinched down so bad.
No, well,
Yeah. Okay. I'm a chicken when it cooks decent. That's great.
now how far down, while he's doing that, he's getting this way. How far down do you want to shave when you're shaving? A third, okay? What you want to do is expose the inner layer of flesh. Normally in all skins, it's getting the cross section of the skin very exaggerated. You've got a very tight layer here on the epidermal area where the fur of the hair is. The same holds true with this area right here. And in here, it's a more loose fiber structure. So you want to expose that. And basically what it also does is it also opens up the skin fibers so that there's a lot more stretch and hold to it. So in other words, you want to expose this. You will take this portion off. That's the part you will be shaving. The rule that shavers use when they're shaving a deer skin or a deer cape or any cape for that matter is you shave until you see a slight change or tint in the skin. That's where you stop. If you can see a slight discoloration, just a very slight bluing, let's say bluing is the normal color. If you can see that slight bluing, that means you're getting down to that portion of the skin where the roots and the epidermis are, and you want to stop.
Like it. That's nice, like it. Ready, what you want?
This is a tube skin, by the way. And it's a southern deer. Whitetail.
Okay, ready to do some damage.
Now, when he's doing the edge, right?
Prefer to do it this way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What I like to do, and I don't know if Bob agrees with this or not, but what I like to do is I like to do all the edges first. I'll go all, if we're an open skin, I go all around every edge. And the reason I like to do that is because when you start to do the center of the skin, if you don't do that, you get what you call hangers. In other words, you shave the skin, and what's happening is the skin will just hang there because it's still hanging on to the edge part. Well, to save myself all that debris and working around it, it's much better to take the edges off so it just falls free and you can work with it, clean skin all the time. And it doesn't get in the way. Now this particular skin was in the pickle for a week. It's well pickled. I have a lot of problems with people calling me and telling me they have problems with tanning. Simply, and when we talk about it, their particular way of doing things, in a lot of cases, sometimes it comes out that they're only pickling for like 24 hours, or even less, some people. And you don't get a full pickle in 24 hours. So I like to leave it in as a general rule. And I use this for all acids. That way I just don't have to like tune myself into formic, acetic, vinegar, and safety acid. I just say 3 days, after 3 days I can do whatever I want. I'm safe. And believe it or not, the pickle is probably the safest place you can keep your skin. It's safer than your freezer. As long as that pH is maintained and stable.
Comfortable? Good. Start to. Except for the hole I put in it. Won't change my life. Is this for a customer?
No, it's mine.
That's why you let me.
Now there's another type of blade, and Bob has one in his shop. It's called a hogger blade. And the hogger blade is a new blade that was put out. It's very much like this one, except it's about another half as thick. And what happens is by spinning it on the shaving machine, you set up a centrifugal force, like a flywheel effect, so that this thing really cranks out. And it's extremely difficult to stop the blade. Like this one here, if you had a thick enough skin and you were trying to pull it across there and you were taking a deep cut, you'd probably, like, this thing would, you'd start grinding down to a slow halt. But with this hogger blade, because of the flywheel effect and the weight of the blade, it just slices through it like butter.
It's unbelievable.
But you gotta be careful, because there are some disadvantages to this too. It will cut through you the same way, so you've got to be a little bit careful. The other thing about it is you can't play with the blade edge. Like I was showing you how to depress and raise it all the time. You can't do that with a hogger because of the thickness of the material and the edge is preset when you get it. So don't even try. Like Bob's almost worn out a tuning steel on it.
No, I did wear out.
You did? Okay.
Oh, cut it right in half almost.
But it's a great blade to use on things like buffalo, musk oxen, moose, and that type of thing. So
It does work.
that's another one of your options. There's one other option. They used to call it a furrier's blade. And what the furrier's blade was instead of having this particular edge, if you were to measure it, this particular edge, you would measure it. When I say edge, I'm talking about this part right here. It's probably about a 1/16 of an inch. And what they used to call a furrier's blade, some people actually turned them this way. The furrier's blade was only like 32nd of a turn. It was very, very short. And all it was intended to do was to flesh light furs and animals. Okay, it wasn't intended to really flesh very much. I mean, shave very much. It was a particular, especially a shaving, fleshing type of blade. But I don't see many of them in the market, and they weren't very, very popular either. Now, obviously, he's doing the shaving of the skin, but you're still going to have some touch-up to do after shaving the skin and after it's been tanned. So when you're prepping I don't know how many of you are familiar with this, but rather than get too complicated, some people like this and some people don't. I happen to like it. It's what they call a skifing knife. And all it is a little, and you can replace this, it's a little single-edged razor blade set here in this little groove. You can just sit and take a piece of leather like this and just great way to prep your hides. And it just takes off little slivers at a time. By the way, I don't know what Bob's technique is. Don't tell me. I don't know what Bob's technique is. But normally when I get up around the ear butts, the ears, what I will do is I'll push the ears back into the head and then work with them that way. So I don't have these ears flopping around in front of the blade. I might chop them up and then work with it. I might pull them out a little bit. Like you see, he's working with the ears out. I'll normally work with them push back in. They don't want any nicks or cuts. Towards your thumb. Cut towards your thumb. There you go. Now, one of the other things that I think is important too, when you skin your capes out, you know, you invert the ears and you pair the nostrils and all that, and split the lips and all that sort of thing. Do you also, well, this is what I call it, flap the eyes? Maybe you could go back about 1/4 inch from the eye and then come in and split it so you have a little flap there. Good reason for doing it. Number one, since the eye tissue, the tissue around the eyes is very vulnerable anyway, you don't want it nicked up or anything. That's one reason perhaps for it. But the biggest reason is because when you're doing something like this, shaving, you won't be shaving that last 1/4 inch, let's say. But you can use that flap to hang on as you bring the blade up to the, probably bring the blade up to it this way. This would be the flap. But you want to work not at the eye and away from it. You want to work away from the eye towards it. Because if you look, if you remember how the hair is around the eye, the hair lays away from the eye. So just like the rest of the skin, you want to go with the layer of the hair. So you're going towards the eye to make the best cut, and probably make the least cut in your skin. Again, it all goes down to, well, you have the eye here. The hair would lay like this, right? Is that right or wrong? Okay, now you have a flap here that you can hang on to. And now you shave from here to here, not from here to here. All right. And can you make cuts? Yes, you can make cuts, but it's a lot more difficult if you shave it this way. This way is easy to make cuts. This way, you're unlikely to make cuts, but it can be done. Now, most people, don't worry about that. Most people, when they get very proficient on this, particularly in tanneries, you can pretty much count on them doing a deer cape like this, probably within 15 to 20 minutes. Complete. Okay? I'm not that good. I can't do it. I don't work on it day after day after day. I can tell you how to do it, but I can't do it myself. I'm just not, you have to build your confidence level. I guess that's what I'm trying to tell you. But that's considered a tannery speed, about 20 minutes. I would consider it acceptable. Don't worry about that. If it takes you longer, that's no big problem. I mean, if it takes you 25, 35, 45 minutes, that's okay. I'm just trying to tell you what the standards are in the industry so you have something to compare it to. Maybe you're a natural. Maybe you'll pick that skin up and go gangbusters. And I've seen guys do it in 10 minutes. I mean, they work like a house on fire. I mean, They had to be, it looked like they were speeding that fast. And I don't like to take chances like that. You know, so I will never do it that fast at show. I'm just not a risk taker, particularly when I'm working with other people's skins. So you don't want to lose money for the sake of being fast. Now the packet of tools you get with this thing. This machine is so new, I have really.
Those are all my tools.
Okay, here we go. We got all these little Allen wrenches for the sake of the adjustments and everything. Remember I was telling you about some people prefer a little fatter, a little chubbier, little tuning steel. These are a little bit shorter. So there are different types. This is the type that comes with your machine. Because I have a tanning supply business, we're constantly packaging materials. So what happens is these workbenches are always being used. I can't really leave my shaving machine there while the girl's working for me, packaging things, or I'm working there. So what happens, I gotta clear everything off, gotta make a weekend, and then sit down and do all my shaving. So when I'm done, all I do is clean it up, pick it up, walk over to the corner, put it down. It weighs about 85 pounds, by the way. Put it down, and I throw a cover over it, put it in the corner. And it keeps until I'm ready for the next time to go around. So if you do have a small shop, this is ideal. The standalone is ideal. If you have the liberty to put in your workbench, then that one would probably be the one you want to choose. And our tanneries using this, yes they are. Wildlife Gallery, Michigan, they've got 3 of them. Shishmaref, Alaska, they've got 2 of them. And it really is a preferred machine. There are other brands out there, don't get me wrong. But by and large, this is becoming very, very, very popular. Very easy to use. Okay, he's worked on that now until he's got a point where that guard is helping him actually limiting the depth that he's cutting. So that's where you want to really find yourself, is where you can actually adjust it and then keep on chugging. They do 8, 9 gear case. The fact that that's set, you're pretty much certain what the depth will be when you do it. Are there any questions that I haven't covered? Yeah.
After you're done with that, how long can you let that sit before you have to clean it?
Well, the skin, I throw it back in the pickle. Pickles are safe. After you're done shaving it, the best thing for you to do is, obviously when you shave it, you uncover fat pockets. You're uncovering the debris above, some of these fat pockets and stuff. The best thing to do is to throw it right back into the pickle and let it pickle for another 24 hours. And then at that point, you can either neutralize it and tan it, or you can just leave it in there for a few more weeks. The nice part about a pickle is, I know I keep saying, leave it in a pickle for 3 days, then take it out and tan it. What I'm telling you is, leave it in a pickle for at least 3 days, and then you can take it out, neutralize and tan it, or you can wait for the next 3 weeks, then take it out and neutralize and tan it. So when I say it's a safe place to leave your skins, it's almost like a temporary preservative. So that's why I consider a pickle a very safe place for your skins, and they'll stay intact.
I'm gonna try some.
Go ahead. And again, some acids do plump better than others. So, like formic, a lot of people prefer formic. And the reason they prefer formic acid is because of the plumping action, the thickening of the skin. So when you shave, you get a good bite. Well, actually, the safety acid does the same thing too. So there are comparable acids out there.
Just want to try to get it where it's used to work.
Okay, he's rearranging the arrangement of the guards here. I assume you're canning back a little bit?
Yep.
Now, one of the features of this particular machine, is that those guards can be precision aligned. In other words, you can put them anywhere you want them, up, down, in, out, up, around, about. It's got an excellent guard feature in it. It's pretty neat. I like this. Are there any other questions about this, about shaving particularly? That, maybe we can answer right here and now. This is the place because I haven't seen too many shaving seminars for the sake of teaching someone how to use one of these things.
These are in production now, you can buy them now. There's no, these are in production now. You can buy them now.
Yeah. They had a little bit of, what happened was Bob Stewart, who now runs the company, his father passed away had a long sickness, and he passed away, and there was a kind of a lull in producing the Eager Beaver shaving machine for about 2 years. But Bob's son is now taking it over, so the production should go very, very well. Bob's a real conscientious person. Very nice person, very good. And he believes in his machine and he does good workmanship. I'm very, very proud of it, as a matter of fact. So, and it's the only machine I carry. For obvious reasons, I want to carry the best. And I think, perhaps prejudiced, but I want to carry the best. And see this the best in my world.
I like it.
Okay. Listen, thank you so much for your attendance.